carries the spirit of the ancestors. We come to praise the ancestors. We honor a breeze that carries the spirit of the ancestors. Praise the ancestors.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to our 44th annual Kwanzaa Celebration. It is a cultural event, and we are happy to have you all here tonight. And before I send it over to our wonderful hosts for tonight, I just wanted to give some house rules. As you know, once you join our event, you will be placed on mute. We're asking that you stay on mute during the entirety of the event, just to give the performers and presenters time to speak and have their performances flow well. If we will have an open segment at the end for communication discussion, and feel free to use the chat as well. We thank you for joining us, and I'm sending it over to Cassandra and Imani. Thank you.
Thank you, Sandrine. Welcome, welcome. We are so excited to have you again at our 44th annual Kwanzaa event. And those that you saw in memorial were Salsa sisters. And we know that we have lost so many more people in our families, in our communities, and in our society. And certainly some to violence and others through natural death, and certainly through the pandemic, which is really a part of what we're all still experiencing and trying to find some peace in this very difficult and challenging times. And we certainly lost a very noted figure to the motherland as well as to America, Desmond Tutu, who said, "Hope is being able to see that there is light despite all of the darkness. And while we are in darkness, we must also find light, because it is the light that gives us the energy to continue the struggle and to continue our lives in spite of all the things that we're going through." So we welcome you this evening, and we know that we will be shedding much light and much joy that you will be experiencing. And we ask that you think about the ancestors and those who you have lost, and call their names this evening. Let them be with us. Let them feel the joy, and let them know that they are never forgotten, as long as we call their names in our heart and in our spirit. So welcome again. And I will say Habaragani, and the principal for today is
Ujima.
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 Economics. So I'll try it one more time. Habaragani,
Ujamaa.
Ujamaa.
Swahili principle for today. Okay, and we'll be learning a lot about the principles and our Kwanzaa celebration. So again, thank you for being here, and I'll turn it over to Imani, the co-host.
Hello there, Habari Gani. Oops, am I muted? Oh.
Ujamaa, Habari
Habari Gani.
Ujamaa.
Gani.
Oh, good.
Ujamaa.
Cooperative economics. We're so happy to be here. Welcome to everyone. Welcome. Today is, of course, the day that we light the 4 candles. And so Cassandra will be doing that later. So we're so fortunate to have this as the 44th year. 44 years ago, I brought this concept to Salsa Soul Sisters, and it has been going strong ever since. Kwanzaa is the opportunity to stretch our minds. This is the opportunity on this day. We're going to hear some words about Ujamaa, but I just want to talk about the diversity in our community. We get to see the whole family, lesbian, gay, transgender, bisexual, questioning, and all of the others, and of course, our allies, who are very important, and a couple of them are sitting here with me now. So enjoy the program. You're going to have an amazing program, and the part that touches me the most is the children. As you know, the Kwanzaa kids, especially, some of whom are in college, and hopefully might even be on this call. Thank you very much, and we'll go ahead and I'll introduce to you one of the most amazing power couples in our community. And I'm speaking of no other than Sasha Alexander and Olympia Sudan. They will be your hosts for this evening, and it will be an unforgettable experience. Ashe, Sasha and Olympia.
Right on. Ashe, Ashe. Habari Gani.
Ujamaa.
I'm Sasha Alexander from Black Trans Media, and I'm so honored to join you all tonight.
I'm Olympia Sudan. I am the co-director of Black Trans Media. I'm excited to be hosting, and also just really, really honored and grateful to be part of this process of honoring and keeping this legacy alive.
And like I said, I'm Sasha, and I use the pronouns she, and he, and they, and insist that you mix it up or use my name. And what about yourself?
And my pronouns are her, she, like the chocolate bar, and they, them.
And like Olympia said, I'm also honored to be here to celebrate the 44th annual New York City LGBT Kwanzaa. Not to age myself, but I'm 35. So y'all had it 10 years on me, 10 years before I was here. But I'm so honored to be here. Kwanzaa is a really important tradition to me. I am an adoptee, and so it was one way that my family was able to help me connect to my roots and to tradition, to the drum, and to a lot of important traditions. And also, Olympia and I met, well, we didn't meet, but we were both at an LGBT Kwanzaa event about 10 years ago, 10 years ago. We didn't know each other. And later, years later, when we founded Black Trans Media, we were able to work with the LGBT Kwanzaa community to create a short video with the then Kwanzaa kids. This is 6 years ago, some of which, as Amani shared, are now in college. And so we only have a couple minutes, but we wanted to show you very quickly a video we made a few years ago with the then Kwanzaa kids. I'm also going to drop the link for folks in the chat in case anyone has trouble being able to watch it. So give us a moment, we'll share our screen. Hopefully you all can hear this.
My name is Lamel. Lamel what? Lamel Frederick Hampton. How old are you? I am 8 years old. Why is Kwanzaa important to you? Because Kwanzaa is important to me because I get to learn all about the 7 principles.
Sorry, y'all.
And what they mean. What is your name? My name is Jameer Jackson. And I am 7 years old. Okay. Why is Kwanzaa important to you? Kwanzaa is important to me because you can spend time with your family. What is your name? How old are you? I'm 6. Why is Kwanzaa important? You can learn all principles. What's your name? My name is Jeffrey G. Joseph Jr. How old are you? I am 10 years old. Why is Kwanzaa important to you? Kwanzaa is important to me because we're celebrating something all together and we're learning things that we didn't know before. What's your name? Zami. Old are you? Zami Banu and I know Zami. Old are you? 6. Why? Because you get to learn things and you get to meet new parts of your family. What is your name?
Zachary Victory.
How old are you?
I'm 12 years old.
Why do you celebrate?
I celebrate Kwanzaa because it brings a lot of people together, and it's just a good holiday to learn about a lot of stuff that you didn't know before.
What is the second thing?
Amoja, Kujitakalia, Ujama, Ujima, Omani, Nia, and Kulma.
Celebrate, celebrate. I can't wait. I can't wait. Soon it will be Kwanzaa. Soon it will be Kwanzaa. I can't wait to celebrate. Habari gani. Welcome to Kwanzaa.
You might have seen before, but here's the.
Sorry about that. Technical difficulties. Uh-oh. The video. Uh-oh. Are people not able to see the video?
Oh, no.
Oh, no. Okay, well.
We saw most of it.
Okay. All right. Well, sorry about the technical difficulties. Fortunately, you're going to get to hear and see other Kwanzaa kids tonight. And so we will be doing most of this live. You won't have to watch a lot of this stuff. And we have an amazing program for you. So we won't hold you any longer. Olympia is going to lead us into our first piece.
Yes. Starting us off and opening up this space, setting the intention will be Libations by Iya Oloyede and Roberta Stokes. Oloyede is a mother, entrepreneur, choreographer, dancer, and musician. She gave birth to two twins, Edwin Esezeba and Nabowire Sabasu, through alternative insemination. Oyelade is also an original member of Salsa Soul Sisters and a co-founder of Peace of the World with Edwina Lee Tyler. Ashe.
All right. Thank you. Good evening. Habari
Argani,
Ujima.
can you hear? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Can
Yes.
somebody let me know if you can hear?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. I need a little help because I tell with all the meeting. Good evening, Habar Ghani to everyone. And a welcome is of the Kwanzaa celebration. One of the things we must always do is open up with our libations, and we give libation and pour libations to, and I don't know how much you can see because I'm here with this with the plant. And first and foremost, we want to say we pour libations to the motherland, which is the cradle of our civilization, Asheo, for the ancestors and their infinite wisdom that they have passed on to us. We give thanks and praise to the ancestors. Asheo, for the elders for whom we learn much, we give libations. Ishe. For our youth,
You want to turn this off? You want to turn this off?
who from you all yeah. For our people, the original people, Asheo, we give thanks. Asheo. For those of our ancestors, known and unknown, if you want to say some of your own ancestors to yourself out loud, we give thanks to them. Asheo. 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 Multiply.
Thank you so much, Ashe. Thank you so much. Following that, we're going to have a prayer by Regina Ross.
Habaragani, good evening, blessings. How are you all? Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. How you doing? I don't hear anything. Is it me or is it you? But anyway, thank you, Roberta. So I just want to say, before I go into prayer, and I do prayer very lightly, I'm not going to pray y'all like it's church and pass the offering, but I want to acknowledge the stress and the energy in the earth that needs to be corrected. So hopefully what we do in this day and the words that we offer will help to give direction. The world is in trouble. We know that. The struggle is real and it continues. But one of the things that I recall in learning from they call it the Negro National Anthem, I shall call it the Black National Anthem. But back in the day when folks were in stress, there's a part of it, they use it as a prayer. So I'm going to use that as my prayer tonight. I'm not going to do anything off the top. I'm going to take us into one of the stanzas of the Negro Black National Anthem. And it goes like this. If you want to, you can bow your head. You can throw your hands up. You can do whatever you want, however you wish to honor. Let us pray. God of our weary years, God of our silent tears, thou who hast brought us thus far on the way, thou hast by thy might led us into the light. Keep us forever in the path we pray. Lest our feet stray from the places, our God, where we meet thee. Lest our hearts drunk with the wine of the world, we forget thee. Shadowed beneath thy hand, may we forever stand true to our God and true to our native land. I am me. And that's my prayer, and I hope you receive it as such. Happy Kwanzaa, y'all.
Ashe, Ashe, Ashe. Thank you so much, Regina. You definitely woke my spirit up. Ashe. Following that, we have our first principle, which is umoja, which means unity. And we have reflections from Josiah Ramos and Brianna Coleman. Brianna Lee Coleman is a Black trans girl from the Bronx. She is the co-director of Black Trans Blessings, a youth-led and founded nonprofit organization focused on loving and caring for Black TGNC individuals. Also, something else is that she loves to explore. Josiah is from the Bronx. His pronouns are he, him, king. Josiah is an Afro-Latinx youth leader and the co-founder and director of Black Trans Blessings, a Black and brown trans-led organization focusing on making the world a better place for Black and brown TGNC folks. Also, something else about Josiah is that he loves animals. Ashe.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for having us. We feel very honored. I know personally, I can speak for myself also that I'm very honored to be a part of this. This is my first one. I've never celebrated Kwanzaa in my house. So this is my first time celebrating with all of you. So I really appreciate it. And it's ironic. Well, not ironic. I think it's spiritually pushed this way because umoja is unity. And this is going to be like my first time sharing space and actually feeling unity in when it comes to Kwanzaa. So yeah, hi, I'm Brianna. My pronouns are she, her, goddess. Yeah.
Hi, I'm Josiah. My pronouns are he, him, king. And I'm excited to be with you guys. Thank you for having me as well. So we're gonna get into emoji. Yeah.
Umoja.
Umoja. Umoja is to strive for and maintain unity in the family, community, nation, and race.
Umoja is basically unity. And me and Josiah have both written something that explains kind of what unity means for us. Mine is actually written in my phone, so I probably won't be able to be seen, but I'm hoping that the ancestors allow you all to hear me clearly. And then I will read mine, and then I will have Josiah share his point of view when it comes to umoja. Unity to me is the ritual of many spiritual beings coming together. It is the actual sister and or essence of harmony. What unity practices looks like to me is nurturing, being supportive, sharing values, and just ultimately building family.
Umoja to me is well, to me it relates to the work that I do within community, taking care of community, fighting against racism, transphobia, and more, and also just also it's important to me because a lot of us as Black and brown, like a lot of us as Black and brown folks, we don't have like when you're Black and when you're just like Black, brown, and trans, you don't necessarily have a lot of unity within your blood family. So when I think of this, I think of unity within community and the support I have within community.
Ashe, just to reflect on a little bit of what I wrote, I wrote that unity is the sister and or cousin and or essence of harmony. And the reason that I said that is even when we think of harmonization, whether you grew up in church and you sung and heard, you know, the lyrics that way, or if you were just a theater kid or a dancer, you understood that harmony was something that was achieved when everyone there had that same goal and were able to build and to bring life into what they were trying to create. So that's why I correlate unity to me to mean close to the sister and or the essence of harmony.
Thank you, Ashe. Following the first principle, we have a performance by Tremaine Thomas Little, who is reciting a poem, Unite My Brothers and Sisters by Sonia Dixon. Tremaine Thomas Little is a New York City-based branding and human resources specialist, entrepreneur, and funk rock musician. Driven to growing multi-generational queer communities, Tremaine co-moderates the LGBT series of the Center for Inclusion at Manhattanville College and is a dedicated member of the esteemed collective Queer Black Men in the Middle, based in New York and New Jersey. Visit Tremaine.New York City for more information on Tremaine's 5-song EP entitled Queer, due for release in summer 2022. Ashe.
Habarigani, everyone. So good to be here with you on yet another blessed Kwanzaa. We made it. We made it through COVID, Delta, and now Omicron, and we'll continue to make it so long as we put our ancestors before us and we send the praises up so the blessings come down, as they say in our Black church. Here we are on distant shores, searching for loved ones lost, knowing their pain and suffering was on ocean of love lost. Can't you see the sun is shining, bringing energies of love? All come, my people, unite together. Wake up, stand up, be the love for all. The bells are ringing, it is time to answer the call of one. Get together, my brothers and sisters. It's time you must unite as one. Unite, unite. It's time you must unite as one. Hold together, brothers and sisters. It's time to unite as one. This poem, Unite My Brothers and Sisters, is by Sonia Dixon.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Tremaine, for bringing that into the space. Ashe. Following that, we have our second principle, which is Kujichagulia, self-determination. And we'll have some reflections from Dr. Wilhelmina Perry, founder of LGBT Faith Leaders of African Descent. Dr. Wilhelmina Perry is a founder of Emeritus of LGBT Faith Leader of African Descent. The organization was founded in 2011 to challenge attitudes and behaviors of homophobia in the Black community, and in particular in houses of faith. She has been involved in the founding and development of several other Black LGBTQIA+ organizations. Ashe.
Dr. Perry, you're on mute. We need you to unmute. Thank you.
Habarigani. The second principle of Kwanzaa, to define ourselves, name ourselves, create for ourselves, and speak for ourselves. As I reviewed the literature, I found interpretations of this principle in terms of individual behavior. I want to move beyond the individual and personal responsibility to talk about our collective responsibilities to each other. This is an important principle because it means to be responsible for ourselves in a society that continually robs us of the right to exercise free will and honor ourselves. What does it mean to name ourselves? It means searching and locating our history, whether it is in America or in other countries. It means locating and building our lost history. Unfortunately, our history and accomplishments have been ignored and misrepresented. We have to constantly challenge and correct misrepresentations. It's not an easy task, but we must find the time and energies to do so. Do we want to fit into someone else's story? Or do we want to tell our own stories? If we want ourselves represented in history, in the present and the future, we must support and do the work. I'm so pleased to see so many movies, artistic events, books, courses, games, and blogs by us for us. This is wonderful to see, but we need many more. We need a pipeline that does not dry up, and it will dry up if we do not continue to finance them. In a society that is secured based on negative and destructive stories of who we are, we must continue to produce, even when our creative products may not bring wealth or publicity. We must do it because it is important for us. Do we wear the master's brands that tell their story and increase their wealth? How many of us prefer Kors, Gucci, Ralph Lauren products over Black produced products? Are we saying by doing this that whiteness is more valuable and more preferred over those things that we create and sell? How do we participate in documenting and preserving our existence and our history as individuals and as a people? We must celebrate our history, protect our cultural expressions and institutions. We must support Black ventures and think of ways that we can collectively build or participate in Black-owned economic efforts. Do we claim and represent as Black people from different cultural, national, and ethnic backgrounds? Do we acknowledge and embrace each other across these specific backgrounds? In ending, I would like to stress the importance of this second principle as a principle for individual behavior, but in my opinion, more importantly, as a principle we must recognize its importance as a collective principle in building our communities and our nations.
Ashe, Ashe, Dr. Wilhelmina Perry. Thank you so much for sharing your words of wisdom and also your leadership and visions. Thank you. Following that incredibleness, we have a performance from the Uptown Children's Dance Academy, Jesus is Love.
Don't let them fall.
Wow, 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 that was beautiful. I definitely want to like take a moment to take that in. Um, Gratitude, and I want to take a moment just to give gratitude and express all of my joy for everyone that has shared so far. Like those contributions mean a lot in this space and also just mean a lot in the world. So I just really want to take a moment to honor all that you bring and all that you are. So thank you. Following that, we are up to our third principle, Ujima, collective work and responsibility. We'll have some reflections from Loretta Finlay Bascom. Loretta Finlay Bascom was born in the island of Trinidad and Tobago. Coming to America in 1968 with her toddler Bunny, she continued her singing and dancing career and was known as a Caribbean African song stylist. Some of you know her as the Coconut Woman. She is also known as a certified chef, caterer, and retired nursing assistant. Loretta is also a student of the Fred Astaire Dance Theater in Tarrytown, where she added another career, dancing and competing in ballroom dancing, and holds a silver level status. Here she is now to perform her rendition of Miriam Makeba, A Piece of the Ground. Thank you so much.
Abarigari, everyone. Greetings. Let me get my phone. Everyone, it is a great pleasure celebrating Kwanzaa in 2021 with all of you. The third principle, Ujima, is the principle that means collective work and responsibility. It means that we are collectively responsible for our failures and setbacks, as well as our achievements and successes. To put Ujima into practice means that we make our sisters and brothers' problems our problems and offer to solve them together as a collective. The first time I heard of Kwanzaa was as a member of Salsa Soul Sisters. It was also the first time I truly felt like a part of collective, a group of Afro-American women responsible for one another's achievements, but also responsible for one another's setbacks. At the time, my two daughters, Bunny and Arlene, were small children and were able to attend several celebrations, which allowed them to travel and gain knowledge of the meaning of Kwanzaa. Learning about the lighting of the candles and what it means to gather and support one another collectively. My daughters grew up and followed their own paths. Bunny, a writer, poet, chef, and also a great singer, which no one really knows. Her daughter, Kaya, now teaches in a New York City public school with a background in psychology and math. Arlene, also a writer, my youngest daughter, followed a different path along with her daughter, Shanika, both going into the medical field. Arlene is a radiology technician, and Shanika also a writer with several degrees in early child education and nursing, is now a registered nurse in the neonatal ICU. Following some of my inspirations, I feel so proud that my children and grandchildren followed their paths of education and collective responsibility, honoring their Black culture. I chose A Piece of the Ground. Miriam Makeba, one of the queens in the Black culture. I always admire the music she sings, the words, the meanings. So I chose this as someone also who went through a lot of discrimination because of the place I worked, and whatever else. So here's my rendition of a piece of the ground. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. All of them wanting their own piece of ground. Ha, 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 ha. When the white man first came here from over the sea, he looked at his sadness as God's own country. He was mighty well pleased with this land that he found. And he said, I will make it my own piece of ground. Now many's the battle he still had to fight. And many's the family who died in the night. 'Cause many's the black man who lived all around. All of them wanting their own piece of ground. Then one fine day in 1883, gold was discovered in good quantity. Now the country was rich and was richer than planned, and each black man wanted his own piece of land. White diggers were few, and the gold was so deep. Black man was called 'cause his labor was cheap. With crewel and a shovel, they dug underground, 6 pennies a day to tender the ground. Now this land was so rich, and it seemed strange to me that the black man whose labor had acted to be cannot enjoy their roots tossed about. He's uprooted and kicked from his own piece of land. Now some people say, why don't you worry? We'll find you a nice piece of reserve territory. I'll give my life that 10 million can be found in the miserable 30% of the ground. Now some people say, why don't you worry? You can always find jobs in the white man's city, but don't stay too long and don't stay too deep, for you're bound to this verb. That madman in his sleep, da 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 da. White men, white men, white men don't sleep long and don't sleep too deep. For your life and progressions, how long will you keep? 'Cause I've heard a rumor that's running around that the black man came hunting his own piece of ground, 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 his own piece of ground.
That was so powerful. Ashe indeed. Thank you so much, Loretta. So much gratitude for the words and your voice and the vibrations in the world that certainly I know I need to feel that. I'm sure other people here tonight. And as we just have celebrated that principle of collective work, it makes me think about taking a collective breath in and just breathing in together and breathing out. How beautiful the voice is and that breath. So thank you again, Loretta. We're gonna move on to our next principle. And before I do that, I wanna mention and shout out to Cassandra, who you might not be able to see this moment, but she has been lighting the Kinara. Oh, there we go. You can see Cassandra there with Sharon. And the Kinara is lit behind them. For those who are not familiar, that is the where we hold our candles. Some people might think of a menorah or other ways, other cultures, ways of lighting candles. The Kinara is lit each time that we read a principle. So we'll be continuing to, Cassandra will continue to light the Kinara as we go on. So we are about to light the Kinara for Ujamaa, the fourth principle, which means cooperative economics. And very excited to introduce for reflections, 10-year-old Sekou Ambrose, who is one of our Kwanzaa kids. And Sekou R. Ambrose is a middle school student and new African scout who enjoys exploring nature, studying various life forms, culinary arts, and traveling the world. He is an avid chess player and enjoys his parkour activities. His favorite subjects are history and math. Sekou is currently learning coding and creating more content for his anime YouTube channel. So we definitely got to check out and watch out for what Sekou is bringing us next. So let's welcome Sekou.
Hello, my name is Sekou Ambrose, and I'm 10 years old. And today I will be introducing the fourth principle of the Nguzo Saba, Ujamaa. Ujamaa means cooperative economics. And it also means getting wealth from Black business, sharing wealth with each other, other Black businesses, and invest and getting
what else? Working together.
Working together.
What else? And investing.
Investing.
Your time, right?
Your time. Yeah.
You done?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks. I forgot it.
Thank you so much, Sekou. That was beautiful, and you did an amazing job. Thank you so much for sharing that. All of that is so powerful, and cooperative economics are taking place right now as we speak here, and it's certainly important to continue to invest. Also, you mentioned the Nguzo Saba. For people who don't know, that's the 7 principles. So you're just dropping all kinds of knowledge for us, Sekou. So thank you for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're there. Right on, right on. Thank you again. Did a great job. Next up, we are going to have another performance, and we are going to see a performance by Frederick Douglass's descendants. So tune in.
Do I look there or look there? Okay. Okay. My name is Alexa Ann Watson, and I am the great-great-great-granddaughter of Frederick
Douglass is my great-great-great-great.
I am the great-great-great-granddaughter of Frederick Douglass. I am the great-great-great-great-grandchild.
I've been counting on my fingers since I was like 5.
This is the 4th of July. It is the birthday of your national independence and of your political freedom.
Fellow citizens, I shall not presume to dwell at length on the associations that cluster about this day. The simple story of it is that 76 years ago, the people of this country were British subjects.
Oppression makes a wise man mad. Your fathers were wise men, and if they did not go mad, they became restive under this treatment.
With brave men, there's always a remedy for oppression.
They succeeded, and today you reap the fruits of their success. The freedom gained is yours, and you, therefore, may properly celebrate this anniversary.
Fellow citizens, pardon me. Allow me to ask, why am I called upon to speak here today? What have I, or those I represent, to do with your national independence?
Are the great principles of political freedom and of natural justice embodied in that Declaration of Independence extended to us?
I am not included within the pale of this glorious anniversary.
Your high independence only reveals the immeasurable distance between us. The blessings in which you this day rejoice are not enjoyed in common.
The rich inheritance of justice, liberty, prosperity, and independence bequeathed by your fathers is shared by you, not by me.
The sunlight that brought life and healing to you has brought stripes and death to me.
This 4th of July is yours, not mine.
You may rejoice, I must mourn.
Fellow citizens, above your national tumultuous joy, I hear the mournful wail of millions.
At a time like this, scorching irony, not convincing argument is needed.
Oh, had I the ability and could reach the nation's ear, I would today pour out a fiery stream of biting ridicule, blasting reproach, withering sarcasm, and stern rebuke.
For it is not light that is needed, but fire.
It is not the gentle shower, but thunder.
We need the storm, the whirlwind, and the earthquake.
The feeling of the nation must be quickened.
The conscience of the nation must be roused.
The propriety of the nation must be startled.
The hypocrisy of the nation must be exposed.
And its crimes against God and man must be proclaimed and denounced.
What to the American slave is your 4th of July? I answer, a day that reveals to him, more than all other days in the year, the gross injustice and cruelty to which he is the constant victim.
To him, your celebration is a sham.
Your boasted liberty an unholy license.
Your national greatness, swelling vanity.
Your sounds of rejoicing are empty and heartless.
Your denunciations of tyrants, brass-fronted impudence.
Your shouts of liberty and equality, hollow mockery.
Your prayers and hymns, your sermons and thanksgivings,
with all your religious parade and solemnity, are to him
mere bombast,
fraud,
deception,
impiety,
and hypocrisy. There is not a nation on the earth guilty of practices more shocking and bloody than are the people of these United States at this very hour. Allow me to say in conclusion, notwithstanding the dark picture I have this day presented of the state of the nation, I do not despair of this country.
This speech was written almost 170 years ago, but this part of it is still extremely relevant, especially with today's protests.
I think that when people are oppressed, they feel silenced, and if someone feels silenced, they get angry. There are certain tactics that you need to use to get people to really hear your voice, and it's not always going to be just like a very calm discussion.
I think he's mostly talking to the people who are already on his side, but believes that they can still try to talk this out, or that things are still justifiable. I know a lot of people at the time were saying, and people now are still saying, that it's not as bad as it could be.
While the 4th of July probably does not feel the same to me as it does to others, I wouldn't say that it has no meaning, because it is the time when America as a country became free from another country. But I would say that it's not the time in which I gained my freedom.
He had a lot of hope, especially for his age. And like, I'm getting to the point in my life where I'm only 20 years old, but I'm exhausted. Like I have these thoughts like, will we ever really get to this point? Or is this really something that we should actually spend our time fighting for?
Somebody once said that pessimism is a tool of white oppression, and I think that's true. I think in many ways we are still slaves to the notion that it will never get better. But I think that there is hope, and I think it's important that we celebrate Black joy and Black life, and we remember that change is possible, change is probable, and that there's hope.
It was a super powerful video. And just shout out to Sandrine also, who is in the background running all this tech and making everything so smooth for everyone. That was so beautiful to see, especially after hearing from you, Sekou, and thinking about, you know, everything we're fighting for now and into the future and from the past. So, and what better to take us next than the fifth principle, Nia, which is purpose, which is a great way to hold us right now and to go from those young voices to our elder voices and to hear from reflections of Elder Thelma Ruffin-Thomas and Joyce Carr. I'm very excited just to share a little bit quickly about Thelma Ruffin-Thomas, who is an independent storyteller and performs throughout New York City along the Eastern Seaboard. She's traveled all over the world telling stories in Tanzania, Brazil, Ghana, Costa Rica, South Africa, Russia, and Australia. Her extraordinary storytelling skills provide a uniquely entertaining and educational experience. She's a founding member of the African Folk Heritage Circle, along with being a member of the Network of Biblical Storytellers, the Storytelling Center, the National Association of Black Storytellers, and the Harlem Arts Alliance. She says with enthusiasm, go out and tell your stories wherever you go. And we are, and we will. Thank you, Thelma. Please take it away.
She was a large woman with a large purse that had everything in it but hammer and nails. It had a long strap, and she carried it over her shoulder. It was about 11 o'clock at night, and she was walking home from work alone when a boy ran up behind her and tried to snatch her purse. The strap broke with a single tug. The boy gave it from behind, but the boy's weight and the weight of the purse combined caused him to lose his balance. Instead of going full blast, as he had hoped, the boy fell on his back on the sidewalk. The large woman turned around and picked up the boy by his shirt front and shook him until his teeth rattled. Pick up my pocketbook, boy, and give it to me. She still held him, but she bent down enough to allow him to stoop and pick up her purse. Ain't you ashamed of yourself? Yes, ma'am. What did you want to do it for? I didn't aim to do it, said the boy. By that time, 2 or 3 people passed, stopped to look, and stood watching. If I turn you loose, will you run? Yes, said the boy. Then I won't turn you loose. I'm very sorry, lady. I'm very sorry, said the boy. Mm-hmm. And your face is dirty too. Ain't you got nobody home to wash your face? No, ma'am, said the boy. Then it will get washed. The large woman started up the street, dragging the frightened boy behind her. He was about 14 years old, wearing tennis shoes and blue jeans. You ought to be my son. I teach you right from wrong. Are you hungry? No, ma'am. I just want you to turn me loose. Was I bothering you when I turned that corner? No, ma'am. But you put yourself in contact with me. Now, if you think that contact is going to last a short while, you've got another thought coming. When I get through with you, you are going to remember Mrs. Luella Bates Washington Jones. Sweat popped out on the boy's forehead and he began to struggle. Mrs. Jones jerked him around in front of her and put a half Nelson about his neck and continued dragging him up the street. When she got to her door, she dragged the boy inside. They went down a hall and into a large kitchenette furnished room at the rear of the house. She switched on the light and left the door open. What is your name? Roger. Roger, go to that sink and wash your face. Let the water run until it's warm. Here's a clean towel. You gonna take me to jail? Asked Roger. Not with that face, I wouldn't take you nowhere, said the woman. Here I'm trying to get home to cook me a bite to eat, and you snatch my pocketbook. Maybe you ain't been home to your supper either, late as it be. Have you? There's nobody home at my house, said the boy. Then we'll eat. I believe you're hungry or been hungry to try to snatch my purse. I wanted a pair of blue suede shoes. Well, you didn't have to snatch my pocketbook to get some suede shoes. You could have asked me, said Mrs. Luella Bates Washington Jones. Man, the boy looked at the woman. The water dripping from his face. And after he dried his face, the boy turned around and looked around in the room. The door was open. He could run. The woman was sitting on the daybed, and after a while she said, I was young once, and I wanted things I could not get. You thought I was going to say, but I didn't snatch nobody's pocketbook. I've done things worse than that, and the only person know about it is God. Well, anyway, let me fix us something to eat. In another corner of the room, behind a big screen, was a gas plate and an icebox. Miss Jones got up and went behind the screen. The woman did not watch the boy to see if he was going to run, nor did she watch her purse, which she had left on the daybed. But the boy took care to sit on the far side of the room where she could easily keep her eye on him if she wanted to. He did not trust the woman not to trust him, and he did not want to be mistrusted now. She heated up some lima beans and ham hocks, made some cocoa, and set the table. The woman did not ask the boy anything about where he lived or his folks or anything that would embarrass him. Instead, as they ate, she told him about her job in a hotel beauty shop that stayed open late. Then she cut him half of her 10-cent piece of cake. Eat some more, son, she said. When they were finished eating, she got up and said, now here, take this money and buy yourself those blue suede shoes. And next time, do not make a mistake of latching onto my pocketbook or anybody else's pocketbook, because shoes come by devilish like that will burn your feet. Now I got to get my rest now, but I wish you would behave yourself, boy, from here on in. She led him down the hall to the front door and opened it. Good night, behave yourself, Roger. The boy wanted to say something else other than thank you, ma'am, to Mrs. Luella Bates Washington Jones, but she couldn't do so. As he turned at the barren stoop and looked back at the large woman in the door, he barely managed to say thank you before she shut the door, and he never saw her again. All of the Luella Bates Washington Jones within the hearing of my voice, I hope you are reminded of our purpose, Nia, to care for all the Rogers in our community, to ensure they know they are destined for greatness. Thank you, ma'am, by Langston Hughes. Thank you.
The thrilling news did not come directly to Nancy Lee, but it came in little indirections that finally added up to one tremendous fact. She had won the art prize. Oh, Nancy Lee's drawing was so good, her lines so sure, her colors so bright and harmonious. Nancy Lee Johnson was a colored girl and a few years out of the South, but seldom did her high school classmates think of her as colored. She was smart, pretty, and fitted well in with the life of the school. So it was seldom even mentioned, her color. And Nancy Lee didn't think about her color either. She liked the classmates in her school, particularly she liked her art teacher, Miss Dietrich. Nancy Lee was proud of being an American, a Negro American with blood out of Africa a long time ago. Too many generations back to count. Her parents were like most Americans, simple, ordinary people who had worked hard and steadily for their education. Now they were trying to make sure Nancy Lee could have a good education. Nancy Lee knew she had made that wonderful watercolor. But would the judges at the art club like it? One wet April afternoon, Miss O'Shea, the girls' vice principal, sent for Nancy Lee. "I have something to tell you," Miss O'Shea said, "but I must ask you to promise not to tell anyone yet." "Oh, I won't," Miss O'Shea, Nancy Lee said. "You are about to graduate, and we shall miss you. You have been an excellent student, Nancy." There was a knock at the door, and Miss Dietrich, her art teacher, came in. "Perhaps, Miss Dietrich, you'd like to tell her yourself the good news." Miss Dietrich said, "Nancy Lee, you have won the Artists Club scholarship." Nancy Lee's eyes widened, her heart jumped. She tried to smile, but only tears came. Nancy Lee must have danced all the way home. She never remembered how she got home in all that rain. Raindrops, smiles, and tears mingled on her brown cheeks. Nancy Lee was asked to think about what she would say when the scholarship was conferred to her on Friday morning. Dreams began to dance through her head, plans and ambitions, beauties she would create for herself, her parents, and the Negro people. Hitch your wagon to the star, Nancy Lee thought, dancing home in the rain. Friday morning came, the morning when the whole world would know, her high school world, the newspaper world, her parents. Her short speech of gratitude was ready. She went over it in her mind, not word for word, because she didn't want to sound like she had learned it by heart. When the president of the Artists Club presented her award, she would say, "Judges and members of the Artists Club, I want to thank you for this award that means so much to me personally and through me to my people, the colored people of this city who sometimes are discouraged and bewildered, thinking that color and poverty are against them. I accept this award with gratitude and pride." When I came here from the South a few years ago, I wasn't sure how you would receive me, but you received me well. That Friday morning, as Nancy Lee entered school, she was told that Miss O'Shea would like to see her in her office. Nancy Lee knocked on the door and Miss O'Shea told her to come in, but she wasn't smiling. There was a long pause. The seconds went by slowly. Finally, Miss O'Shea said, "I do not know how to tell you what I have to say. you are not to receive the scholarship this morning. Nancy Lee gasped. She couldn't speak. Miss O'Shea continued. When the committee learned that you were colored, they changed their plans. Here is a letter from the committee. It seems to us wiser to arbitrarily rotate the award among the various high schools of the city from now on. And especially in this case, since the student chosen happens to be colored, a circumstance which unfortunately, had we known, might have prevented this embarrassment. But there has never been any Negro students in the local art school, and the presence of one there might create difficulties for all concerned. We have high regard for the quality of Nancy Lee's talent, but we do not feel it would be fair to honor her with the Artists Club Award. But my speech, Nancy Lee said, it was about America. I know, said Miss O'Shea, but America is only what we who believe in it make it. I am Irish. We were called the dirty Irish, and mobs riot against us in the big cities, but we didn't go. And we didn't give up because we believed in the American dream and in our power to make that dream come true. Nancy Lee, we still have this world of ours, democracy to make, you and I, Nancy Lee. As a teacher in a public school in this city, I will go before the school board and ask them to remove from our system the offer of any prizes or awards denied to any student because of race or color. Suddenly, Miss O'Shea stopped speaking. Lift up your head, Nancy Lee, and smile at me. Nancy Lee lifted her head and weakly smiled. The bell for assembly rang. She went through the long hall filled with students toward the auditorium. And as she walked, she says, there'll be other awards. There's schools in other cities. This won't keep me down. But when I'm a woman, I'll fight to see that these things don't happen to other girls as this has happened to me. She took her seat among the seniors. The students rose and turned their eyes to the flag on the stage. One hand went to her heart, the other outstretched toward the flag. 3,000 voices spoke. Among them was the voice of a brown-skinned girl whose cheeks were suddenly wet with tears. One nation, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. That is the land we must make. One Friday morning, Langston Hughes.
Ashe, 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 ashe.
I'd like to add that I experienced a similar incident. He wrote this story in 1952, 53. In 59, I graduated high school. I graduated as salutatorian. But I was called in the office that Wednesday, and graduation was that Saturday, and was told I would not be giving the address.
Oh my goodness.
So when I tell the story, it goes through me because I know I experienced it. I was told that the dignitaries, the local archdiocese, the bishops, all would be there because it was a new school. And I know you understand. One Friday morning.
All right.
Friday.
Ashe. Ashe, Ashe, indeed, and thank you. Wow. Thank you, Thelma Ruffin Thomas and Joyce Carr. That was so powerful. So many ways in which to think about our purpose here, and certainly witnessing y'all and your purpose as storytellers share that. It was very powerful, Ashe, Ashe. And it's just like the principles to lead us one into the next. You know, the sixth principle is Kuumba, which is creativity. And I find that last example of our purpose, sometimes it moves through our creativity, our purpose in the world. I know I feel that. And we're going to hear from our next speaker, Keith Lewis. And Keith Anthony Lewis is a philanthropist, financial consultant, and artist who is dedicated to the empowerment of others through extreme self-care. He is currently in partnership with LAS Financial Consulting, a wealth planning brokerage in Harlem, as well as with the African Folk Heritage Circle. Welcome, Keith.
If Keith is on, can you come on camera and off mute? I'm unable to locate you.
Okay, here I go. Okay, I'm on.
Yes, there's just a little feedback if someone else is also on Zoom, but we can
Okay,
hear
you
you.
got it. Okay, thank you very much. Habara Ghani, it is a pleasure to be here with everyone. Again, my name is Keith Lewis, and I am thankful to be sharing on this Kwanzaa celebration. I am here to, I'm going to introduce the sixth principle, which is creativity. Kuumba, I love that name, Kuumba. Creativity, to do always as much as we can in every way we can, to leave our community more beautiful and beneficial than we inherited it. What inspires me most about creativity is the word creation. And we all are a part of this universe. We are a part of that creation. So we were all created through the creativity of the universe, which means that we are all responsible for being creative and using our mind and thoughts to be able to enhance everything around us. We actually, through our humanness, we create whatever we imagine, whatever we like to see. I was born and raised in Harlem, and my creativity was inspired through dance. I traveled the world through my creativity in dance. I was trained at the Alvin Ailey American Dance Theater at the Ailey School. And I was inspired very deeply by Mr. Alvin Ailey himself. I was fortunate enough to be able to see him and feel his presence and talk to him before he passed away. One of the things that Alvin Ailey talked about, one of his famous quotes is, "Dance came from the people and it should be given back to the people." And one of the things that I like to always understand is that is my gift of creation to my community and to the world. Alvin Ailey was a pioneer that took dance throughout the world. He was the first ambassador of dance for the United States of America, and he took dance around the world as a presentation of what the United States what our contribution was to culture from a perspective of the United States of America, which was a huge, huge honor. Alvin Ailey was a Black man from the South, and he created dance through what he called his blood memories, the blood memories of the South, of growing up in the segregated South right after slavery, so close to it. So we can imagine what those memories were. But he talked about growing up in the church, growing up in this with the Negro spirituals, the baptisms in the live baptisms in the river when they would all walk in the water, in the heat, in the sun, in the water and be baptized. He talked about sneaking as a young man to look in the juke joints. He saw the adults really having a good time and being in their element and dancing and the music. And he let those memories well up inside of him and create his idea of culture through dance. And to this day, to this very day, his legacy lives on. So my legacy and my creation to my community is to share the love of dance, especially now in the age of technology. And we will now be able to see all of the things that we may not have been able to see through video and computer. And let's feel free to see as much creativity through technology and share our technology as we are doing tonight through this Kwanzaa program, as we are sharing our creativity and our love for each other, and through our third eye. Let's continue to share. Habaragani, thank you.
Ashe, Ashe. Thank you, Keith. And in the spirit of Kuumba and Alvin Ailey, Ibaye, the next performance we are delighted to share with you is from the Alvin Ailey Dance Company. And we will be watching a performance of Wade in the Water. So you set that up wonderfully for us, Keith. Thank you so much for that reflection.
This is your home.
Woo. Ashe, ashe, indeed. A beautiful way to begin to close our reflections of tonight as we move to the last and seventh principle, which is Amani, which means faith. And super excited to introduce these next guest speakers who will reflect. We have 3-year-old Amari, and we also have Faith. These are our newest Kwanzaa kid and mom. And Faith Barkley is a Columbia University alum and works as an engineer at the New York City Department of Environmental Protection. Faith has been involved with African Ancestral Lesbians United for Societal Change for over 10 years and has served as a board member. She is also a volunteer for the Biennial Black Lesbian Conference. Faith's 3-year-old son, Amari, is the newest member of the LGBT Kwanzaa Kids and was inducted in a lovely ceremony this past summer. Faith, along with her son Amari, will discuss the significance of the last principle. Welcome, Faith and Amari. Hey.
Good afternoon. Good evening, everybody. We are very happy to be part of this program. And I'm going to start off with allowing Amari to speak a little bit. So, Amari, are you ready?
Yeah.
Imani means faith.
Faith.
Right. So starting off young is the best way to go. And that's why I want Amari to be involved and learn all about Kwanzaa and to have elders in his community that reflect me as a bisexual woman of color. And now I want to just go on to explain the principle a little bit more. So Imani is a very important principle to me. Obviously, my name is also Faith, which is what the principle means, which in depth it means to have the strength to believe in yourself, in your community, to be able to make all of these principles that we just mentioned come to life, including Umoja, which is unity, Kujijakalia, which is self-determination, Ujima, which is collective responsibility, Ujama, which is cooperative economics, Nia, which is purpose, Kumba, which is creativity, and then we come to faith, which is the belief in our community, in ourselves, to enact these principles on a daily basis. To enact these principles on a daily basis and to keep them alive in our hearts every day. A lot of times we come across situations that are discouraging, but we have to maintain that faith, our belief in our community and ourselves to continue to struggle with these different issues and to manifest these principles in our daily lives. And as a community, we can work together. So I'll conclude there because I'm sure everyone knows a lot about this principle. And I just want to once again say I'm very honored to be a part of this. And I want my son to continue to be a part of this as the years go on.
Oh my gosh, Ashe, Ashe. Thank you so much, Faith and Amari. That energy, that spirit, we need that energy and spirit. It was so welcome and lovely. You did a great job, Amari, and you as well, Faith. That was beautiful. We are almost at the end of our evening. We are excited to have another performance. For this performance is Bernadette McGowan, who will be drumming for us solo and live here. Bernadette McGowan is a cultural worker committed to expressing the traditions and heritage of our African ancestors. Ashe, Ashe. Welcome, Bernadette. Thank you so much.
Hi, thank you so much for having me. I want to give thanks to all of the producers and creators of this event. And I really want to give thanks to all of my esteemed elders. I am so honored to be where I'm participating in the presence of my elders. I honor you, and I honor Salsa Soul Sisters, because as a young 20-something lesbian, back in the 80s, I guess I'm dating myself, back in the 80s, trying to decide which way to go, they created a pathway for me to be honorable, dignified, true, cultured, educated, and talented. Everything that I have, from drumming, like the drum circles, spirituality, my god sister, Lawyer Day, Imani was the one who set me on the path for drumming. Everything that I represent today, I got, from the elders in the community who embraced me and showed me the way at a critical moment. And, I was moved to tears when I saw the ancestors, and a lot of the women I knew and I loved, and they were there for me. And some of them I didn't even know had passed away. So I know that my purpose is to be able to give what was given to me to the next generation. I feel that responsibility. And, I want to live up to all of the faith that these women instilled in me. And everything that I represent today, I got from you guys, and I am grateful. And this drum performance will be in honor of Bell Hooks. And she was a Black feminist who just recently passed away. And she spoke truth to power, and she put in words what I was feeling. And she laid out what I was up against and empowered me to acquire the knowledge that allowed me to have my voice. And she was the author of 49 books. That's amazing. She authored 49 books speaking truth to power about the intersectionality of being a Black woman, patriarchy, white supremacist. And, she termed imperialist, white, supremacist, heterosexual patriarchy. This is what we're up against. And she was unapologetic and fierce in her critical analysis of what's going on. And also, and I'm coming to terms with this too, her last book was about love. And I heard people speak about Black joy. And sometimes you could get into the struggle if you're a warrior and all you see is fight, 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 fight. But, I also got from her that, it's Black love. It's a Black love that makes you a revolutionary. It's Black love that makes you want to stand up and represent and defend the people that you love. It's Black love that's behind that. And she also said that Black love is what will sustain us to endure in this struggle. And she said that, Audre Lorde said that Black love is revolution that Black love is a revolutionary act. And, when I think of Salsa Soul Sisters and I come together in a community like this, I think and I feel and I experience love. And for that, I'm grateful. And so the song that I'm going to sing is called The Babylon System. Bell Hooks wrote and spoke Truth to Power, and Robert Nesta Marley sang Truth to Power. And I think this song sums up everything that everyone here spoke about. And also, I just want to give a shout out to Keith. Keith and I were freshmen together at Cornell. And Keith is not only creative, Keith is smart. He was an engineering student before he went to go dance with Alvin Ailey. And so it's so good to see you here tonight. So here I go. We refuse to be what you wanted us to be. We are what we are. That's the way it's going to be. Let me tell you, you can't educate us or no equal opportunity. Talking about my freedom, talking about my freedom, people's freedom and liberty. We've been trodden on your wide grass much too long. Repent, repent. We've been taken for granted much too long. Repent, repent. The Babylon system is a vampire, sucking the children day by day. Yeah, we say the Babylon system is a vampire, falling empire. Sucking the blood of the sufferers. Yeah, we say them building churches and universities, deceiving the people continually. We say them graduating thieves and murderers. Sucking the blood of the sufferers. Yeah, tell the children the truth. Tell the children the truth. Tell the children the truth. Riding on your mind press much too long. Repent, take it for granted much too long. Got to repent now. Got to repent. Is a vampire, falling empire. Churches and universities. The people continually. Yeah, we say them graduating thieves and murderers. Sucking the blood of the sufferers. Yeah, tell the children, tell the children the truth. Tell the children the truth. We've been trodden it on your wine press. Tried it on your wine press. Downtrodden. Much too long. Take it, take it, granted. Got to repent now. Got to repent. Now I'm gonna play some rhythms. Bell hooks and accompany her. She goes towards our ancestors. Thank you.
Ashe, Ashe, Ashe. Thank you so much, Bernadette, for that beautiful song and drumming for us. It is just about 8 o'clock. So we want to thank everyone for joining us for this Ngozi Saba. Before we start to close out and make space for comments, I want to welcome Stahamili to bring the Harambe into the space or into the celebration.
Sante Sana, thank you very much for all that you've done for us tonight. It is my job and my purpose tonight to close out the event. And we're going to say 7 Harambes to close out as we normally do at our Kwanzaa events or most of our Kwanzaa events. And Harambe is the Kiswahili word for we all pull together. And so we always want to begin our programs by speaking to the ancestors and asking the elders' permission. And we always want to end, and that's called a libation. And we always want to end our program by coming to an understanding that we came into this space together during Kwanzaa, and we're leaving in harmony and in unity. And that's represented by the 7 Harambes that we're going to say. And the 7, of course, are for the Nguzu Saba, the 7 principles, which we really should strive to live by. We say if we could just practice one of the principles each and every day, and even if we could practice all of the principles every day, that would be a wonderful, wonderful thing and a huge accomplishment. So we have the 7 principles. They're not just 7 principles sitting out there in space. These are the ways and the values and the traditions that we hold dear, and we try to bring into our space, and we try to live by. We don't just say unity for the sake of saying unity. We say unity because we know if we don't have each other, if we don't support each other, if we aren't unified, we won't survive. We understand that. We understand that we have to work collectively and cooperatively to make sure that we are here and understood, and that we make our presence known wherever we go. And we understand that we have to have creativity in the space, that we're going to leave our spaces more beautiful than the way we encountered them. We understand that we are creative people. We are the original people, and we have that creativity in us, and we will express it in every way that we can, as often as we can. So these principles really allow us to reflect on those things, those ideals, and those values, and of course, understand that we do this in faith, and that whichever deity, whichever God, whichever creative force you believe in, that we honor that. As Black people, we always do honor that, and we do that in faith. So we're gonna close out with 7 Harambes for the Nguzo Saba and for ourselves and for our people, and understanding that someday we will step back onto the platform of history as a proud and productive people. And we lift our hands up, we make a fist, trying to put the fist in the screen, and we pull down and we say Harambe, and we pull down and we say Harambe, and we do that 7 times for the Nguzo Saba, 7 principles. And on the last one, you hold it as long as you can. If you got the breath, let it be known. So I'm gonna ask everybody to take off your mute, unmute yourself, so we can hear each other as we all collectively pull together and shout our Harambes. I'll count off in Kiswahili, and then we'll start. Ja, le, tu, Harambe.
Harambe.
Harambe. And I see some of y'all have some strong breath there. That's wonderful.
All
And so
right.
at this time, I'll turn it back to Cassandra. We're going to give folks a little time to meet and greet as we can virtually. And Cassandra.
All right, so I hope that this program this evening invited you to begin to share Kwanzaa in your homes and with your families. That something touched you, touched your heart, touched your spirit, touched your mind, to allow you to know that you are a gift to the universe and that you bring such gifts. We want to thank our hosts,
Go to the view and open it up.
Tasha and Olympia. Let's give them a hand. Thank you for navigating our program and introducing everyone and sending words of love and encouragement to everyone. We want to thank our elders, who we always thank first. All of the elders in the house, let's give them a hand. On our programs, Dr. Perry, Thelma, Joyce, and some other elders that I may not see in the audience. We thank you so much. And then to our very young people, our little young Saku and Amare, the youngest ones. It is so important, the foundation that you lay for the children at a very young age. Don't wait until they're 10, 12, 13, 18. That's a little bit too late from a teacher's perspective, I'm telling you. You start from birth. You talk to them in the belly. And as soon as they get to the earth, lift them up to the universe and don't stop, because they will be faced with so much challenges. And it is the road and the foundation that we laid that allows them to live the life that we're living. And to all my sisters and brothers out there who have joined us this evening, we love you. We thank you. We honor you. And we invite you to walk with us with these Kwanzaa principles, as Star Hamili has laid out so wonderfully. Walk with them each and every day. Share them with your families. Share them with your friends. Share them with your neighbors. And we honor Ron Karenga, who developed this theory that we have embraced as a people and has brought us closer to the culture that we were robbed of our culture. We had no idea of the richness. And I invite each of you to visit the motherland so that you can see the richness of Africa. You have no idea of that which is buried in the motherland. And I thank you all so much. And I just wish I could hug you, but I hug you like this. Hug yourselves, hug yourselves. Okay, hug yourselves. You gotta love yourself first before you can love anybody else. So love yourself up real good. Now love everybody on the screen. Love everybody. Reach your arms out wide.
Yes.
Love the universe. Love the
And
ancestors.
hello,
We
everyone.
are the hopes and dreams of our ancestors. We
Yes.
are the hopes and dreams of our ancestors. And now I turn it over to my co-host, Imani, to give a few words before we open it up to you so that you can say something. And don't forget how much we love you.
Hello, everyone. Habari Gani. Again, I am the founder of the LGBTQ Kwanzaa. And I am so happy that you love the program that I put together. And I want to thank all the participants for coming through. And you were the best. And thank you again, Sandrine, and to all, Star and Millie, for the laborious job of doing the tech for us as on the board, and also for Cassandra, who has been my co-chair for 44 years. Thank you to all of your supporters. Ashe, and let us open it up.
Ashe. Imani, was I
Blessings.
clear? Was I clear?
Yes.
I was
Sandrine,
yeah.
Sandrine, just before we open it up to the audience, Sandrine, would you like to say anything? We feel you are so much part of our family and a part of the working committee, and we thank the working committee and everyone that performed. I mean, you were all amazing. Technology it's difficult, but it brought us together. Sandrine, are you still?
I just wanted to say thank you, Cassandra, and the entire team, Imani, Stamili, everyone that performed tonight. You were all truly amazing, powerful, and impactful. So continue to do the work. We are doing the work right now. God bless.
So if you raise your hand, we could put the spotlight on you and give you an opportunity to say hello to everybody in a word or two. Oh, don't all rush to the screen. Okay, Denise, Miss Pilgrim.
Yeah.
Good evening. First, I
evening.
want to thank Sister Cassandra for the passion that she has in ensuring that we learn our history and that we pass it on to one another. If she did not invite me to this event, I would not be present. I am 62 years old, and you're never too old to learn something. I am blessed to be a part of the celebration today. And the thought that comes to my mind is not for us to just gather once a year. Maybe a suggestion could be that whomever participated today, that there is connection and communication throughout the entire year, which leads us up to come back for more. I looked on the screen and all I saw was beauty, from the young to the elders. And it is beautiful to be amongst same folk. It does not matter whether it's LGBTQ, whatever it is. We are all humans. We were created uniquely by God, and we are brothers and sisters. And we need to stand together and teach each other. We need to teach each other. We need to continue to be creative. We need to continue to stay connected, not just come together because we need numbers on an event. We are here to walk with one another together. Let's stand strong and firm. God bless you all for all that you put into this celebration today. It is very uplifting, and you've kind of given me hope for 2022. Blessings.
Thank you, sister.
Thank you. So wonderful.
Anyone else would like to speak? Feel free to raise your hand or put up the raise hand emoji. Also be mindful if someone is speaking, just remain on mute just so we can hear the speaker respectfully. Thank you all. Susan, you're up.
This was beautiful. I really enjoyed myself. I thank you, Sister Cassandra, for letting me know about it. I've had so much fun just watching everything. It was really beautiful, and I loved learning about history and our history, something we didn't learn about in school that much. We got a little bit, but not much. So I really enjoyed myself. Thank you very much to everyone. Blessings.
Blessings. Anyone else?
Well, I just have a quick
Okay,
word to say.
sure, Faith.
Yeah, I just wanted to express that Amari was enjoying all of the music. He was dancing, he was into it. And I'm very pleased, even though it was through Zoom, it wasn't in person. So I definitely feel like this is something we can keep on doing if we have to, until we can be in one another's physical presence.
Sharon would like to say something.
I just want to say thank you to the youth, because the youth are our future and our hope. So thank you.
Anyone else before we go?
Yes, thank you, everyone. I truly enjoyed every piece of this. Thank you. I'm Harriet.
All right, Harriet.
In case you didn't know.
It's good to see you. Harriet, it's good to see you.
I see tons of hands waving at one another. Would anyone else like to speak?
Next year we'll have a high chair.
Ife has her hand up.
Habarigani, everyone. Hello, can you hear me?
Barigani, we hear you, sis.
Okay, I just wanted to say thank you so much to everyone who took part in this program, and it warmed my heart because I always celebrate Kwanzaa, but this year I have a new grandbaby, so I'm not in my space in the Bronx, but I'm down here and I'm set up and my candles were lit, and all of the messages were so powerful tonight. I mean, just amazingly, from the little ones on up. So thank you very much again, and have a safe rest of the holiday season and all the best for the year 2022. Much love, always.
Sante, sister.
Don't be shy. If anyone else would like to speak, the time is now. Omeka, you're on.
Thank you. Yes, it's just a pleasure to be here. I was sitting outside. It's really warm, and congratulations on 44 years. Wow, that's absolutely wonderful. And I'm just grateful and glad to have and still be never be away from this energy and vibration. So I'm glad to have connected in the 80s, as someone else said, sister said Bernadette earlier. And yeah, it's just a family. I just appreciate the family. I'm just very grateful. And for all of our input and energy. And there's a lot of people that are tuned in on other levels. So Yeah, staying connected, absolutely, absolutely.
We appreciate you send us some of that warm weather.
Yes, and I want to mention that you were our drummer last year, so Omeka. So thank you. You know, usually we like to drum in a group, but because this technology doesn't allow us to, Bernadette, you did well. Omeka, we'll call on you again and look forward to the time when all of us drummers will be together.
And I remember before I started drumming, I used to look up to Omeka, I still do. She was one of the drummers that inspired me and embraced me in the drum circle. I love you, Omeka.
Same, my sister, love you too. Okay, good to see you. Absolutely.
All right, if we have no more speakers. Oh, hello, Lenora, are you trying to speak? Lenora, we can't hear you at all. I'm so sorry, my love. I would say maybe remove their headphones. Still no. No audio.
I wanted to say
Plug it.
that, Sasha, thank you again, you and Olympia, for also finding that video that you put on. It was a surprise for Thelma. She sat here and saw that because we actually did that 6 years ago in Thelma's home. And time passes by and sometimes we forget those things, but those young people, some of them are 6 feet tall now. And of course, Zachary is at Cornell, and Keith and Keith, you went to, yes, Bernadette and Keith were at Cornell as well. So.
Okay, I think I'm ready.
Legacy.
Yeah, Shay, thank you so much for those words. It was an honor to work with those kids and with the elders and just bear witness to the process that you all have been in for many, many, many years. And a lot of gratitude, as other people expressed, for the many decades, almost 45 years of holding this space, this circle. And I know, like, when you hold circles, circles are a powerful practice in our communities. And so I thank you for how you've been, laying those seeds and all the seeds that have sprouted up and all that time. Just excited to be able to be part of this and continue to help hold the space for our communities to celebrate and honor and put these principles into action together. So Ashe, thank you, Amani.
Hi, can you hear me now? Can you hear now?
Yes.
Greetings, everyone.
Greetings.
Abarigani.
Ujama.
Ujama. I thank each and every one of you for this wonderful occasion. I want to start by just thanking our ancestors for helping us all to remember. Without them, of course, we wouldn't be here, but also without their teachings, we won't be able to bring this forward. And for me personally, the ancestors always reminds me of who I am and my purpose, what I'm here to do. I want to thank the elders, because elders, all the elders on the program today were just a confirmation of what it is that we become as we continue to grow and thrive in this world. Thank you for helping us to be conscious of who we become and becoming. Thank you, elders. All of your presentations were wonderful. I am particularly grateful to be I want to say chapped in this time, particularly with all that's happening in this world. I want to ask individually and collectively for healing, for everybody to continue to uplift one another. As I heard another sister and elder said, we shouldn't only wait for Kwanzaa to come together. But as we know, as members of Salsa, we live like this all the time, all year round. And I want to support that statement and encourage that, because there are lots of sisters in the community that are not as connected and going through such difficult times, grieving, particularly from the loss of their loved ones. Some of you might know some of these sisters, but they're not ready to come forward. They're not ready to reach out. So there's still lots of folks that we need to get to bring to this level, to this medium, whether it's through internet or just seeking them out on a one-to-one basis. So I thank you all for this forum, but I also want to encourage that we need to really reach out to other sisters in the community who need this love, need this warmth. And that's all I really want to say. Love and light to everyone, and continue to enjoy and celebrate life.
Thank you, Nora. I wanted to say that I love the fact that we get together as sisters, but my vision, of course, is about family. And the brothers that were on were so needed, and it was so important that we had their voices, and that we had their performances, and of course, and also the trans representation is so important at this time. So yes, children, men, women, cisgendered, everyone together.
Hi, good evening, everyone. Habari Ghani. I just want to take a moment to thank Imani for involving me in this and for inviting me to have Amari be part of the Kwanzaa Kids. And I also want to acknowledge Cassandra and Stahimili. We've had several activities that we've done together over the years, and I just want to take this time to specifically say that they have been very welcoming, and I want to just put my full effort into continuing the traditions that we have started and to take on that mantle as the next generation. And I believe this is such a powerful event that is so uplifting, and I want to continue to be a part of it for years to come. Yeah, just thank you so much for being wonderful people. I just feel so lucky to have elders in my life that I can turn to for advice and for encouragement. Thank you.
And I would be remiss if I did not, thank you, Faith. I would be remiss if I did not mention that Bethy, Dr. Yah, has been so instrumental in this Kwanzaa Kids, because, you know, we came up at a time where we didn't have children. Most of us did not, you know, we didn't have any way, unless you laid down with a man, to actually have a child. And I knew I wasn't going to do that. But Bethy grabs children, and her family is so big. I just want to just give a shout out, if she's on this call or not on this call, that whenever we thought we weren't going to have children a particular year, Bethy will grab some cousins, nieces, nephews, and that's been so definitely important. So thank you, Bethy, and thank you to her ancestors.
Thank you, Imani. I receive it. And thank you to all the beautiful, magnificent women and men on this that I'm looking at. This was wonderful. And thank you, Sekou. Okay, thank you so much. And Amari, hello, Amari. Okay, bye-bye, thank you.
Loretta, I think I saw your hand up. You're still on mute.
So first, I'd like to say it's such an honor being with you all again. Salsa Soul Sisters, you all molded me when I came to America, a young girl, and found my way to Bonnie and Clyde. And Cassandra, you and Sharon, you have been two people. Let me tell you, I know a lot of you all know about relationships and the good, the bad, the ups, the downs. But oh my God, if I didn't know Cassandra and Sharon, how many times you all rescue me from bad relationships? You have to come and rescue me. But I learned through you all. I learned so much. My children.
Don't tell the story at Kwanzaa.
No. I'm just saying, it's so grateful to be with you all. My light was out for about 30 years. I locked myself away because, you know, I just was doing different things and trying to raise my children. But I recently, through Cassandra and Sharon, joined, became a member of Sacred Fellowship Ministry. And one of the things that Pastor Lynn, Dr. Lynn Sexton taught me on Zoom when I first met you all is about forgiveness. Forgiveness. And if you don't, I had to forgive myself for a lot of stuff that I was holding on to. And as the new year comes, I am deleting numbers, people that passed. I lost my best school friend. I watched her funeral yesterday. She left us, and my sister, the family, we grew up together in school crying, but it's just time to accept, like the Serenity Prayer say, the things you could do, the difference of the things you cannot do. So I'm taking charge of my life, and thank you for bringing back that light and that joy and being in church. I mean, it's just, I'm on a different path. My granddaughter, who was on the program, she said to me one day, I said, you know, I'm right in the last part of my life. And she said, are you sick? I said, no. I just want you to know that I'm at a point and place in my life, journeying through, you know, the peace that I had. And you all brought back, all of you are just singing again. I didn't want to sing. I couldn't sing. But one day I was homesick and the nurse said to me, stop crying. Think of the things that you like. Think of the things that you could do. And she set me on that path. And, you know, I started playing music again. I started singing. I got my confidence back and just reaching, you know, being with you all again. I really am grateful, very grateful as I journey on. Yes, I'm 72 years old, still kicking, but, you know, thank you so much. Star Millie and Sandrine and Susan. I mean, you know, we in church, right?
Yes, we are, dear. Yes, we are.
I met you, you know. So I am just grateful for where my life is going right now. And thank you, Cassandra and Sharon. And I just honor all of your women. And the guys, and the children. You know, I love me some children. So one of the things I used to do with children, I used to teach the children rites of passages, teach them how to become, you know, women, and what to do and how to do certain things. So I was a part of that and loved every minute of it. So thank you for bringing back the joy, the light, my voice, everything that I shoved in a closet. And one love and happy rest of the holidays and a bright and prosperous new year.
Oh, so can I say just one thing? And I really appreciate what you said, Loretta. Learning to forgive yourself is the most important thing that I learned this past year. I will share with you all, you don't know, November 20th, a year ago, I lost my sight in my left eye. A virus attacked it. So I'm legally blind in one eye. You didn't know that, right? So I see you. Now I can get around though, because you make adjustments in life. But at first I was angry. But then I forgave myself and the spirit said, you better get up and live.
I had
Because
to.
you got a lot of living to do. And I look at you, Cassandra, and I thank you, Imani. I thank you for the foundation, the leadership. I thank you for your level-headedness. Cassandra especially, you seem to always have your feet on the ground. When mine are up in the air, you can bring it down. So I learned how to forgive myself. And so in forgiving myself, it has extended my life, my energy, my zest, my zeal. And I'm thankful for all of the energy and the women I've met along the way that are still here, because obviously we've all learned something. We've forgiven ourselves, even if you don't know it, because you can't live long if you hold grudges. Oh, I'm here to tell you. And there's some relationships that I'd like to take and put in the toilet and bring it back.
Yeah.
But then what would I gain? Nothing. So I thank you all for this evening. And Carew, show your face. You know Carew and I are in the item, in case you didn't know. Now you do.
Carew.
And a great talent you got there.
Yes, so thank you so much. I appreciate you. Oh, that dude.
If no one else would like to speak, or I would hand it back over to Cassandra and Imani to close us out for the night.
Okay, Imani, do you want to go first or you want me to?
Okay, I'm here with my family, my extended family. We're in the kitchen. Where all families used to gather and tell stories and eat, and so here's everybody, and we're waving out and telling people that the family is so important, that we keep connected, especially as this time is going from one variant to the other, to the other, to the other. Make sure you check on us too, us older folk. We may seem like we're all right, but sometimes we need a call. Sometimes we need, you know what we need. So, and you know what we like. And the next Kwanzaa is coming, but let's practice 365 days, these principles. Teach them to the young folks, and hopefully we will be able to meet in person at some point. And I want to say that something about the children. I want to say, for the Kwanzaa kids, let us try perhaps to have some more Zoom stuff where we talk. Are you down with that, Thelma?
Not with the children.
Not with the children? Okay.
Unless they're professional.
Okay, children on Zoom may not work, but you know what? We can stand some training so that we can work with the children on Zoom. But certainly, I want to tell everybody to go, to let me know if you want my Kwanzaa book, because that's a great help to start the children and also the younger people. And I think that's it from the family here in the kitchen as we start to get on the road, right? Okay. And so thank you again, all the people that have worked with us, especially the board members and everybody. I'm just so excited. It's almost like I just had a cocktail or something. I'm high. So thank you, everybody.
Asante Sana, keep that highness going, Mamani. And everyone here, I pray and hope that you are feeling the same way, that we have lifted your spirits tonight, that your heart is filled and your energy is up, and you feel a sense of family. Even though we have lost a lot of people in our family, we still have family. It is nothing like the family we have this evening. And that's one thing I've learned through my work and through all the elders and the scholars that I have met in my life. I have met some of the best people in the world. I would give nothing for my journey. But the thing that I understand most and what is the center of my life is my spirituality. It is the center. It is the foundation on which I stand, because it has taught me how to, as it was said several times, forgive and move on and love. Because when you get hurt, you feel you could never love again. It is nothing like hurt. Hurt is serious. And some people go down with hurt. But I want you to rise up with hurt, as Desmond Tutu said, hope is being able to see that there is light despite all of the darkness. Because there is going to be some darkness, as Regina said, because she's suffering with the eye, and so am I. I can hardly see. And today I could hardly walk. Now I don't know what that's about, but I'm going to take it because I knew I was coming to see you all. So I was walking and I was getting dressed and I was going to fix my face and I was going to put on my best outfit no matter how hard it was. And it was hard. So the darkness is there, but there also is the light, your beautiful light. I see each and every one of you, and you light my heart. You light my spirit. You lift me up. So whether you have family or not, you have family. And one thing we had in Salsa, it was intergenerational. It was church. We had spirituality and we're 44 years, some of us in our 70s, some of us in our 80s now. We have been practicing this, and thank God for it. Thank the Creator for shining the light to your heart and to your spirit. So cry not, shed a tear, but don't stay with the tear. Find the joy and the laughter, because it is there. It is out there for all of us. So once again, hope is being able to see that there is light despite all of the darkness. So I love you, and I will always love you. Peace and love. What can we say? Never good night. Oh, what is our song? What's the Salsa song?
I think I don't like this program.
Oh, I thank you. All right, we'll just all hold our hands up and stretch our arms out and say good night with great love and respect.
Good night.
Night. And thank
Good night, everyone.
all of
Good
those
night.
who made it possible. Sandrine and
Good night.
Millie.
Thank you.
Great
Thank
Good night, and thank you all. Blessings, everyone.
you all.
Good
night.
Good
Good night, everybody. Love y'all.
night.
Love you.